Who doesn't know Ricky Gervais and his savage
Ricky Gervais and his savage roasts, a bold critique of woke Hollywood. Ricky Gervais is a name that resonates with anyone who's ever enjoyed a no-holds-barred comedic roast. Known for his biting humor and unapologetic remarks, Gervais has become a master of exposing the contradictions within the entertainment world. His sharp critiques
offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know? It's... offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second-guess people. If you try and please everyone, you're...
The growing influence of woke culture in Hollywood. Gervais has made it clear that he's not afraid to call out the hypocrisy that he sees in the upper echelons of the industry. His relentless jokes about the rhetoric of woke Hollywood have struck a nerve with many on the other side. He's become a lightning rod for controversy, but that's exactly the kind of thing that has earned him respect from fans who are tired of political correctness taking over comedy. You know, just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. Offense is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You can't please everyone. If you try, you'll please no one. This kind of raw, unapologetic approach is rare in today's society. Gervais has the kind of guts that most people lack, the ability to speak his mind without worrying about the consequences. And in today's climate, that's something few in Hollywood are willing to risk. Consider this. The Golden Globes, one of the most prestigious events in Hollywood, almost didn't happen this year.
Learned one thing, it's that famous people are above the law, as it should be. So, I'm not going to be like the terrible things you've done to get here tonight. The street and Clooney. I'm not even looking at Katie Holmes. So let's get on with it before I say some insulting.
Mostly because his controversial jokes about Hollywood's elite rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. When Gervais first hosted the Golden Globes over a decade ago, the American press was scandalized by his jabs at Hollywood's biggest stars. But by the time he hosted again, public sentiment had shifted. People were ready for someone to call out the absurdity they saw in the industry. Gervais had become the voice of a growing frustration with celebrity culture. What makes Ricky Gervais unique is that he fearlessly tackles the most taboo subjects without any hesitation. In a world where so many are afraid to speak out for fear of ruining their careers, Gervais's confidence and fearlessness make him a rare breed. Why would anyone want to challenge a guy who speaks like he has absolutely nothing to lose? But there's a reason Gervais can get away with it.
Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those fucking dinosaurs. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and cocks. They're as good as gold. I love that.
As someone who won't be silenced, no matter how much the Hollywood elite may hate him for it. And while many celebrities live in a bubble where they believe they are above reproach, Gervais's comedy reminds us...
The old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person isn't a lady? Well, his penis. Her penis, you fucking bigot. What if he rapes me? What if she rapes you? You fucking turf whore.
Even the most celebrated stars in the world. So, whether you agree with his views or not, one thing is clear. Ricky Gervais isn't backing down. His ability to speak uncomfortable truths with humor and without fear is something we can all admire, even if we don't always like what he has to say. Ricky Gervais, the unapologetic critic of woke Hollywood. Ricky Gervais is well known for his savage wit and his relentless roasts of Hollywood's glamorous elite. No one is safe from his sharp tongue, especially when it comes to those promoting woke culture, which he sees as spreading like a poisonous vine across a once...
Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity,
I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, it's like a hate crime. It makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
Most prestigious of settings like the Oscars and Golden Globes, where he isn't afraid to call out the hypocrisy of the Hollywood elite. But what makes him truly stand out is that his most daring and unapologetic jabs come in his stand-up shows, where no topic is off limits. Take, for example, his thoughts on gender and identity. Gervais doesn't hold back, poking fun at the changing dynamics of gender roles in society today, often making the audience laugh at the absurdity of some of the debates. You know, I love the new women, he says, the ones with beards and all that. They're great. They've really got it all figured out. While this type of humor isn't for everyone, it's part of what makes Gervais's comedy so polarizing and yet undeniably entertaining to many. His ability to take on sensitive issues without worrying about who he might offend is a part of what sets him apart in the world of comedy today. In his usual fashion, Gervais has no qualms about bringing up the contradictions of the current culture, particularly when it comes to the debates around gender and identity. For him, comedy is about confronting the toughest subject head-on, using humor to highlight what he sees as the flaws and absurdities in the current cultural climate. What makes it even more intriguing is how he challenges the Hollywood celebrities who continue to push the agenda of woke culture onto their followers. These celebrities, in Gervais's eyes, use their platforms to try and force their views on others, all while failing to see the humor in their own hypocrisies. While Gervais's comedy can be seen as controversial or even offensive by some, it's clear that his fearless...
I stand up and I say, well, you can't say that. You've got to say, you don't find them funny, you know. And I hate it when people say, that joke was offensive. I say, no, you've got to say, you found it offensive. Because it's all about feelings, and feelings are personal. And there's loads of types of comedy and
qualms about bringing up the contradictions of the current culture, particularly when it comes to the debates around gender and identity. For him, comedy is about confronting the toughest subject head-on, using humor to highlight what he sees as the flaws and absurdities in the current cultural climate. What makes it even more intriguing is how he challenges the Hollywood celebrity.
Progressive, you know, there are some clubs now where the comedian has to sign a thing saying he won't say anything contentious or he won't say anything that could offend anyone. It's a safe space for the audience. Woke comedy. And I tried to watch a bit of it and I decided I'd rather watch Louis C.K. masturbate. Can't mention him anymore.
By some, it's clear that his fearless stance against the norm is what has earned him both admiration and backlash in equal measure. His comedy pushes boundaries, challenging people to think differently about the world they live in, whether they agree with him or not. At the end of the day, Ricky Gervais is one of the last comedians willing to speak his mind, unapologetically, in a world where many are afraid to do so. His jokes may not be for everyone, but they certainly leave a lasting impact on those willing to listen.